gnocchi, bok choy, herring, kippers, guacamole, crepe, rock, crumpets, ravioli, gyros, gumbo, sushi, curry, poi, bok choy, tacos, baklava, egg rolls, French fries, rumaki, salilun, bratwurst, lasagna, wonton, chow mein, ceviche, crab.
So Joe, today we're going to make cinnamon chips. Excited to make cinnamon chips with me?
Oh yeah.
Okay, so the reason we're making them is I wanted to make a really cool and simple dessert or snack, and these definitely are a good dessert, right? You love these.
They are, yeah.
And we're also going to be working on the sound today. That's our target sound. This is something that Joseph worked on when he was a little younger. The S sound is one of those sounds that typically kids develop, 90% of kids develop by age 6, between 6 and 7. And we worked on this sound, like I said, not too long ago by using a couple of different techniques. We did the T stretch, which we take the T sound and we stretch it out. We go t, t, like we're pulling a rubber band. You want to show everybody how we practice that? Good. We take the T, and by stretching it out, we turn it into an S, right? And we also talked about smiling, biting down and smiling, and pushing out the air. And that is really good airflow. And we also talked about keeping the snake in the cage, right? The snake is your tongue, and the cage are your teeth. And we keep that tongue back behind the teeth, right? Can I see you make another good S? Great. Joseph has the sound down. This recipe has lots of S's in it, and it also has the S blend a lot in it. So we're going to start off and have some fun with this. Joseph is going to take my silicone brush here and start spreading some melted butter on our rice tortilla. I love these. They hold up really well. They're not too thick, but they get real crisp in the oven, and they're perfect for this recipe. All right, Joe, why don't you spread on some melted butter and practice that word spread with your kids at home. Can I hear you say spread the butter?
Spread the butter.
Great. Go ahead, spread it on really good. You can put a lot of butter on there. Good job. Get it all around the edges as well. A little bit more. And while Joe is doing that, the next thing we're going to do is take some sugar. I'm using turbinado sugar for this. And I'm just going to pour that in there. Good job. All right, I think that's good. Good job. Let's take that away. And we don't need that anymore. And we're going to take cinnamon, one of our other key S words. And we're going to pour the cinnamon. That's 1 tablespoon. Joe, would you pour that in? A tablespoon of cinnamon. I'm going to put 1 more tablespoon in. That's another great word to practice is cinnamon. And Joseph's going to show us how you clap out the syllables for cinnamon. Go ahead, Joe. Clap out the syllables for cinnamon.
Cinnamon.
Right, because that is a tricky word for the younger ones. So make sure you tap it out with them and ask them how many parts are in the word cinnamon. How many parts are in the word cinnamon?
3 parts.
Good job. We're going to take our spoon and we're going to stir the cinnamon. Say stir the cinnamon.
Stir the cinnamon.
Great, so we're working on a blend. Go right ahead, stir it all up. Working on a blend. And we're working on the S in the initial position. Looks good, nice and mixed. And while he's doing that, the next thing I'm going to do is slice our tortilla. I think that looks good. All right, we're going to slice our tortilla. And as I slice it, I would have your kids practice the sound, prolonging the sound as you slice. So, using that, and look how nice that pizza cutter cuts it nice and clean. Joe, can you show me how you would stretch out that S for me as I cut? Good. We're going to cut this into 8 pieces. Go ahead. Good, and let's do one more. Good job. So we have 8 nice cuts in our tortilla, our rice tortilla. We're going to take our mixture, another S word. That X in the middle makes the S sound. Mixture. That's a bit of a challenge word. And we're gonna sprinkle our mixture onto our rice tortilla. And we wanna, go ahead, help me out with that. We're gonna spread it nice and evenly on each of the slices. Get it all spread. You can also practice counting the slices. Up to 8. 1 slice, 2 slices. That's even more challenging because you've got S's in the beginning and at the end. That looks really, really good. And use your hand and spread it out a little bit better. Make sure it's nice and even, so enough of the cinnamon sugar is evenly distributed on each piece. Great. We're going to put these in the oven at 350, I'd say about 8 minutes, no more. And be careful, keep checking on them so they don't burn, because they could burn kind of easily if you forget about them or take your eye off them. And when you take them out of the oven, you're going to get some nice, delicious, crispy rice tortillas. They're nice and crispy. And what we're going to do is make a dip to go with them. You want to taste, Joe? See what you think. Tell me if you like them. Good stuff, huh? Awesome, I know. Our dip, you don't have to make this, but I like this dip. It's simple, and it's a little bit sweet, and it's a nice soft dip to go with this. I'm going to just eyeball this really and take some whipped cream cheese and spoon it in to, you can see I'm just taking a couple of big tablespoonfuls and putting it right into our bowl. And then I'm going to take some walnuts, a handful of those. I chopped these walnuts, and I'm just going to sprinkle them in. Sprinkle again, we're using that blend.
The rest one.
And I have agave syrup, which is I'm a big fan of. I like using this because it's a little lower on the glycemic index. It's not as high in sugars compared to processed sugar or honey or syrup. And I'm just going to squirt a little bit of that in. Honestly, I am eyeballing this again. And then, Joe, would you mix it all up for me? Go ahead, get in there, mix it good with that spoon. Good job. Get all the agave mixed in as well. Make sure you don't leave that out. I see some on the side. All right. So we have our cream cheese, walnuts, and agave. And it's all mixed in. That looks delicious. And that's it. There you have it. And now you have a nice, soft, sweet, there's another good word, sweet, right, Joe?
Yep.
We used sweet today. Stir, spoon, spread, sprinkle, slice. Lots of good S blend words. And took our cinnamon chip, dipped it in. Take a bite. Tell me what you think. Good stuff? That's awesome. And thank you so much for joining us. I think even my dog Sheena liked that one. She had to chime in a little bit at the end. Thanks for joining us. See you next time.
Capellini, fettuccine, escargot, and bok choy. Jumbo